Hello everyone, I'm Ahalya Gandikota doing my Masters in Integrated Urban Development and Design at Bauhaus University, Weimar. I'm here to talk about streets as a place for people. A street is a basic unit of urban space through which people experience a city. It is often misconceived as a two-dimensional surface that vehicles drive on when moving from one place to another. Streets are in fact multidimensional spaces consisting of many surfaces and structures. They stretch from one property line to another, including the building edges, land uses, and setbacks that define each side. They offer space for movement and access and facilitate a variety of uses and activities. Understanding these various portions of a street as either continuous or interchangeable offers a flexible approach to street design. Streets are catalysts for urban transformation. Before the advent of cars, our city streets served as social gathering spaces where neighbors could congregate, street vendors could sell their wares, and children could play. But for well over half a century, city planners have focused more on crafting car friendly cities to the detriment of people and less on coming up with an equitable approach involving various users. For designing streets responding to the place, one must consider the local culture and context to ensure that the streets support the daily routines, rituals, and behaviors of the users. Understanding the place can also help identify the various uses and functions that the street design can offer based on its local site characteristics. Streets can thereby be shaped to improve not only the built but the natural, social, cultural, and economic environments. There are four main aspects that can be used to define and understand streets as a place. Built environment, which is made up of constructed spaces such as buildings, parks, and transport systems. Natural environment, which includes habitats, local ecosystems, and green and blue systems. Social and cultural context, which help identify how unique customs and local climates can influence people's behavior. And economic environment, such as types of businesses and industries that use urban streets and the number of jobs they support. These aspects are quite crucial and are often overlooked. It should also be noted that densities, land uses, and travel characteristics can shift as street traverses the city from one neighborhood to another. As the needs and uses along the street change, street design should respond and adjust accordingly. Now let's look at how streets can be designed to respond to people. A space is not a place unless people want to be there. It is hence important to design streets to balance the needs of diverse users in order to shape an enticing environment that ensures access, safety, comfort, and enjoyment for everyone. In order to do so, we must identify the people who use a street today and quantify when and how they use it. Understanding this will help us determine the desired breakdown of users and activities for future street conditions and ensures that the design meets these people's needs. In most cities, streets constitute the largest percentage of public property, and this space must be equitably distributed between the needs of many different users. For a typical street, the various users can be pedestrians, who include people of all abilities and ages sitting, walking, pausing, and resting within urban streets. Cyclists, who include people on bicycles, cycle rickshaws, and cargo bikes. Transit riders, who are people using collective transport such as rail, bus, or small collective vehicles. Motorists driving personal motor vehicles for on demand point to point transportation. Freight operators and service providers driving vehicles that move goods or conduct critical city services. And people doing businesses, including vendors, street stall operators, and owners of commercial street fronts. To understand the advantages and disadvantages of these various modes of transport and to know which mode is more beneficial, let's first compare the size and space occupied by different users. According to standards, it can be seen that walking and cycling takes the least amount of space, and a bus can occupy thrice as much space as that of a car. But one should also consider the capacity that each mode can offer to allocate the space for different street users and activities equitably. For this, let's take a look at how 50 people can be accommodated by different modes of transport. It can be seen that even though a bus needs thrice as much space as that of a car, its carrying capacity per lane is the highest among all other on-street modes. Today, as land in urban areas has become increasingly scarce, it is essential that we use the space within the streets most efficiently to serve the largest number of people. To further understand how these modes of transport and the various activities can be accommodated on the street, Let's consider a 3-meter wide street for a length of 25 meters. It can be seen that sustainable modes such as walking and cycling can accommodate 25 to 50 people. The same strip of street can accommodate 100 people in just 2 buses, while only 4 to maximum 25 people in 4 cars. Also, activities within the spill-out spaces onto the street can accommodate 32 people, adding life and quality to the street. This can also be linked to contribution of environmental sustainability, where 12 to 50 cars can be replaced by just 1 bus. Hence, for holistic growth of a city, it is important to opt for a multimodal street design approach to serve different modes and provide multiple mobility options to the users. Designers can prioritize on reducing the amount of space for movement and parking while increasing the space for other activities to add to the quality of the street. The same street can accommodate more people, making it more spatially efficient, sustainable, and affordable. Even for users, being aware of such facts can help them make fair, reasonable, and sustainable choices. With 75% of the world's population expected to be living in cities by the year 2050, urban streets will need to balance demands for increasing personal mobility and access to the city economy. Where the low-density, auto-centric development patterns of the 20th century have failed, dense cities with robust multimodal transportation networks are best suited to provide sustainable growth, equal economic opportunity, and a high quality of life. Hence, for designing better livable streets, it is important that we as designers and planners shift from asking the question of how many cars can we move down the street to asking how many people can we move down the street.